Hello and welcome to MT Entertainment. We've looked at the best, now let's look at the worst. In today's video, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 worst video game consoles. Let's begin. Number 10, 32X and Sega CD. Codenamed Project Mars, these unusual pieces of gaming were released between 1992 and 94. They were made in an attempt to break into the 62-bit gaming era, but let's just say it didn't go too well, and resulted in one of, if not Sega's biggest gaming fail. Number 9, Ouya. The Ouya started out promising, targeting casual gamers much like smartphone games. However, when the console was actually released, it was terrible. It had an awkward controller, terrible connectivity issues, and the games on the system played worse than they did on smartphones, which made many people question why they wouldn't just play the game on their smartphone instead. Ouya. Number 8, HyperScan. This console targeted an incredibly small audience of 5 to 10-year-old boys. The main gimmick of the console was that you could upgrade your characters in-game by using separately purchased cards. But because of that ridiculous idea, and the fact it only had 5 games in total on it, led to one massive failure. Number 7, Atari 5200. The 5200 was supposed to be the superior console to the original 2800, but failed in almost every way. First off, its games were pretty much slightly updated versions of 2600 titles. The console was also massive and had a storage unit for the controller built into the console. Speaking of the controller, it was also terrible. It was awkward to use and was also extremely fragile. Number 6, Gizmondo. Despite spending millions of dollars on promotion, it was extremely difficult to get your hands on one of these devices, as it was only sold in shopping malls at specific mall kiosks. But even if you did get one, you'd be completely disappointed, as in North America only 8 games were released, and in Europe it launched with only 1 game, all of which were completely terrible, by the way. Number 5, Apple Pippin.
One of the arguments over the future of home computing is, will we add computing power to our television sets, or will we add TV capability to our personal computers? Apple is betting that the TV will be the preferred viewing device with a new approach to home computing called Pippin.
Apple teamed up with Bandai to bring this console to the US market, but it had a few issues, like a $600 price tag. Now you may be wondering, what could have justified such a price? Well, features like a web browser, which Apple themselves didn't even think was going to be a success. It also had an embarrassingly small library of games. Number 4, Philips CDI.
Trust me, babe, I know about this CDI stuff.
To kick things off, this console was $700 in the US, which is about $1,200 today. With this price tag, you were given some of the worst video games ever made, including Hotel Mario and 3 terrible Zelda games. The console was an enormous failure, selling only 1 million units in the span of 7 years, costing the Philips company $1 billion. Number 3, Atari Jaguar. While the console did have a few good titles, very few third-party companies worked with Atari, deeming it too difficult to create games for the console, which resulted in a very limited number of games. It also had a very unusual and insulting ad campaign which depicted gamers, its target demographic, as complete morons. Number 2, N-Gage. This console was interested in being a cell phone first and gaming console second. Needless to say, it failed at both. The games on the device were extremely watered-down ports of better titles on better systems. Also, switching games on the device was unnecessarily a hassle, as if you wanted to switch games, you had to remove both the back of the device and the battery. Number 1, Virtual Boy. This device was marketed as being the first gaming console with stereoscopic 3D graphics, but that was borderline a lie. Its graphics were an awful red and black, and the 3D was extremely underwhelming. It also only had 22 games released on the console. It gave players bad headaches and also had some serious health concerns, with notable scientists declaring that long-term exposure could result in brain damage. All of this led to one of, if not the biggest failure in all of gaming. What's the worst console you've ever played on? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please don't forget to rate, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And if you would like to support the making of future videos, then please don't forget to click the membership button or check out my links in the description. With that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!